Prince Harry has taken another apparent dig at the royal family by discussing his lack of support upon his return from Afghanistan and his unaddressed trauma stemming from his mother, Princess Diana's passing. The Duke of Sussex has launched his new documentary series, titled Heart of Invictus, in collaboration with Netflix. While the series mainly focuses on injured veterans, Meghan Markle, his wife, makes only brief appearances. In the series, Prince Harry opens up about his post-war struggles and his realization of the trauma linked to his mother's death in 1997. He expressed that after returning from Afghanistan in 2008, he struggled because he lacked a supportive network and expert guidance to identify his emotional challenges. Harry emphasized the reluctance many people share about seeking therapy until reaching a breaking point, describing it as being on the floor in a vulnerable state, wishing they had addressed their issues sooner. He conveyed his desire to change this approach. In this Netflix series, the couple's most recent venture under their £80 million deal, Harry introduces himself as a father of two, a dog owner and a husband. The program captures an intimate moment between Harry and Meghan before a speech at the Salute to Freedom Gala in 2021. In this private moment, Harry expresses his nerves to Meghan. The docuseries consists of 5 episodes and was released just ahead of the upcoming Invictus Games in Dusseldorf, scheduled for an 8-day run from September 9. Harry, who serves as an executive producer, shares insights into post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, and his own experiences dealing with trauma. He discloses that his own unraveling occurred after his 2012 tour in Afghanistan, despite the underlying trauma dating back to his mother's death when he was 12. Harry, like many, suppressed his feelings, but they resurfaced later in life, leaving him struggling without a proper support structure. In a conversation with Canadian indoor rower Darrell Ling, who also suffered trauma, Harry acknowledges that while he can't fully comprehend Ling's experiences, he can relate to the impact of traumatic events on emotional well-being. Prince Harry's new series has been anticipated, given his previous controversial documentaries criticizing the royal family. The stakes are high for its success, as their previous media endeavor with Spotify concluded after just one season of Meghan's podcast. This new release follows Netflix's acquisition of film rights to a romantic novel that Harry and Meghan will produce for the streaming service. I wasn't aware of it at that time. It wasn't until later in my life, when I was 28, that a certain event occurred. The first few signs of something amiss began to surface, and then suddenly it was like someone shook a bottle, and it went poof, and chaos ensued. My emotions were splattered everywhere, following me wherever I went, and I found myself wondering, how on earth do I contain this? I went from having nothing to having everything, and now I feel like I need to place myself in a glass jar. My therapist advised me to put myself in that jar, leave the lid open, and choose what I allow in while letting everything else bounce off. Army veteran Harry, who served 2 tours in Afghanistan, one from 2007 to 2008, and another from 2012 to 2013, also talks about how he never wanted to be in the armed forces after becoming a parent. During a hike with former Invictus Games competitors Gigi Chalmers and David Wiseman, Harry, who is the father of Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, shares, "I always saw myself as the kind of dad who couldn't serve while having kids. Both of you did, right? It's not just the individual who signs up, but the entire family." Wiseman recounts how his wife Lucy was pregnant when he got shot and injured in Afghanistan. The documentary begins with a scene from July 2021, where Harry warmly greets Chalmers and Wiseman with hugs and a cheerful "morning, lads," presumably at his home in Montecito, California. Harry suggests, "Shall we go for a hike?" as they all get into a car driven by him. The documentary also includes a speech Harry gave at the 2022 Invictus Games in The Hague. In his speech, he addresses the competitors, saying, "It's here at the Invictus Games that you realize whatever burdens you carry have propelled you to the next level. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, the version that you, your partners, and your children missed." When I talk to my son Archie about his aspirations, some days he wants to be an astronaut, other days a pilot. But what I emphasize to him is that no matter his future profession, his character matters the most. Nothing would make his mother and me prouder than seeing him possess the character we see in all of you today. Harry also discusses the importance of addressing mental health in the military during an interview, expressing, "When I joined the military, mental health, mental illness was a taboo subject. One of my proudest achievements is the work that David Wiseman and I did, delivering talks to people within the military. We encourage them to understand that if mental health equates to mental illness in their perception, which it doesn't, but even if it did, then let's set that aside and talk about mental fitness. If there's stigma within the military, it will also exist in society. To eradicate the stigma in society, we need to lead by example." Speaking directly to the camera, Harry reflects, "I take this personally because I've always felt that every life lost could have been saved. I believe we can do better as a society, especially for those who've served their country. Through the Invictus Games and this community, as well as my own experiences, I've seen that focusing your mind on something almost always leads to a positive outcome." Harry also talks about Invictus Games competitors overcoming challenges, as the documentary showcases footage of athletes succeeding at the 2014 tournament and one falling during the 200 meters race. The Duke shares knowing how dark things can get and how they have gotten for some of these individuals, one step forward, three steps back. The more they persist, many of them manage to break free from that trench they've been stuck in. They no longer dwell on the past, their focus shifts to the future. This positive transformation ripples through their families and communities. That's our goal here. Harry also expresses frustration about the media undermining his deployment to Afghanistan, recalling, "The reason I could go to Afghanistan was because it was a secret mission. During my 10 weeks there, no one knew except the British press, who agreed to stay silent in exchange for access." In 2008, Harry's cover was blown by the American website The Drudge Report, breaking the news blackout. The website ran a world-exclusive story with the headline, "They're calling him Harry the Hero." In the documentary, Harry adds, "Suddenly being on the way home, I was angry. But for the safety of those around me, I needed to be extracted. The flight home deeply impacted my experience in Afghanistan. As we took off, the curtain in front of me blew open, revealing the air hospital. 3 young British soldiers were wrapped in plastic, their bodies in pieces. I witnessed firsthand what had previously only been discussed in conversations. That experience truly ignited an understanding of the actual toll of war. It wasn't just about those individuals directly affected. It extended to their families and the profound, lasting changes in their lives." Stepping off the airplane, a surge of anger filled me regarding the fate these individuals had met, and I also harbored frustration about the media's lack of coverage. However, I hadn't fully grasped the necessary course of action at that moment. Another part of the documentary features Harry sharing his thoughts 2 days prior to the Invictus Games held in The Hague last year, after numerous postponements due to the global pandemic and the chaotic world events, such as the situation in Ukraine. He expressed relief at finally being present at the Games, surrounded by individuals who had waited patiently since 2020. "We had never envisioned this moment, and the journey has been an intense emotional roller coaster for each individual involved. Their families and supporters have shown immense dedication and resilience throughout the extended training period. I'm optimistic that the sports events will be incredible given the ample training time. The majority of participants at the Invictus Games, as well as those still living today, owe their presence to the strong support systems of family and friends. This week during the Games serves as a form of group therapy for all, and this prospect truly excites me." Intermittently in the documentary, Meghan makes brief appearances. She can be seen speaking at the opening ceremony of the previous year's Games, introducing Harry to the stage. Meghan acknowledges the sacrifices and service of the participants and their families, highlighting the spirit of dedication and the sense of community that defines Invictus. After Meghan's introduction, she and Harry share a kiss on stage before she hands him the microphone. Harry continues by emphasizing the importance of reminding the world about the human spirit's resilience and the capacity to heal and emerge stronger. He acknowledges the challenges overcome by the Invictus community, praising their substance, resilience, strength, and compassionate hearts. In a heartening address to Team UK prior to the Games, Harry acknowledges their unwavering commitment and the essence of service ingrained within them. He encourages them to embrace their emotions, to cry if necessary, as a testament to their dedication and passion. The documentary also delves into the events of March 2022 amid the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Ukrainian Invictus team manager Oksana Horbach recounts the challenges of ensuring the safety of the team traveling to The Hague, considering the risk of being targeted by Russian soldiers due to their participation. Many team members are actively serving their country, engaged in the ongoing conflict. Oksana pays tribute to team members lost in the war, mentioning Yulia Payevska, captured by Russian troops, and archery coach Dmytro Sidoruk, who lost his life in action. During a poignant moment, a Ukrainian competitor presents Harry with an album depicting the situation in their homeland. Harry expresses his heavy-heartedness after spending the past day considering their reality. He reflects on the visible trauma in their eyes, a result of the invasion and the hardships they have faced. Another individual highlighted in the documentary is Paul Jenkins, captain of the British wheelchair rugby team. He shares his experience of dying for 27 minutes following a heart attack, during which his wife's CPR saved his life. Just weeks before the games commence, Jenkins acknowledges his absence due to this ordeal. His candor is direct. He died and lived to tell the tale. The documentary weaves together these profound stories, showcasing the courage, strength, and resilience that define the spirit of the Invictus Games participants. I was clinically dead for 27 minutes, and if it hadn't been for my wife, I believe I wouldn't be here to share this story. And this notion about seeing a light at the end of the tunnel, who actually witnesses a light in such a situation? There was nothing of the sort when I experienced it. It was pitch black the entire way. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky also features in the documentary, speaking through a video call to the participants. He expresses, "To our military officers, esteemed heroes, veterans, and those supporting our remarkable athletes, I don't believe you have left our country behind. It's an honor for us that you are representing Ukraine. As for the medals, the most significant reward for us is that you found the courage to compete. However, there's a reason why we desire at least one medal. We will replicate it many times over, trust me. You all deserve nothing less than gold medals. In fact, you are our gold." On Monday, Prince Harry made an unexpected appearance at the premiere in a Chula Vista cinema, where 2 episodes were shown to an audience comprising veterans and their families. Harry, dressed in a cream blazer and white shirt, playfully interacted with the audience. "Great to see all of you. You dressed up for the occasion, that's nice. No suits and ties?" After the screening, he posed for photographs with the attendees, saying, "I want to express my heartfelt gratitude for joining us tonight. You folks are the first to see Heart of Invictus, a project that has been in the making for the past 2 years." In the trailer for Heart of Invictus, Prince Harry, the youngest son of the king, addresses the camera, stating, "The games aren't centered around the causes of the injuries, but rather about recovery and reintegrating into a community." The Duke was also captured interacting with the competitors and remarked, "Everyone will face challenges at some point." Netflix announced at the time, Heart of Invictus follows an extraordinary group of competitors from around the world. Service members whose lives have been profoundly impacted by injuries or illnesses on their journey to the Invictus Games. The competitors discuss the hurdles they've encountered, with one woman stating in Ukrainian, "I need Invictus to rehabilitate myself. Unfortunately, the war doesn't allow us to relax." Another woman is shown participating in a group video call, which is interrupted by nearby shelling. The footage includes Prince Harry appearing on stage at the Invictus Games, an event he established in 2014 as a Paralympic-style sports competition for injured and ill military personnel and veterans. He declares, "If your aim was to make your country proud, you've achieved it. If your aim was to bring happiness to your family, you've succeeded. You are individuals of substance, resilience, and strength. You possess the heart of Invictus." The series, initially announced over 2 years ago, has been created by Prince Harry and Meghan's Artcool Productions Company. It is directed by Orlando von Einsiedel and produced by Joanna Nata-Segara, who previously collaborated on the Oscar-winning short film The White Helmets. Responding to the documentary's release, Imarn Aiton, an anti-racism activist and social commentator, shares with ITV's Good Morning Britain, "Watching this reminded me of why I used to admire Harry in the first place. It's undeniably inspirational. However, regarding their rebranding, I'm not convinced it will be effective. The damage, I believe, has already been done. It appears to be truly representative of him, and that seems to align with their brand. There's an intriguing contrast between this couple's celebrity and royalty status, as if these two opposing worlds are merging. With Harry, we witness moments where he focuses solely on his royal role, allowing us to concentrate on him and his brand. This could be beneficial for their future." Talk TV's royal correspondent Rupert Bell also offers his reaction, saying, "After watching the first episode, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. It's quite good, I enjoyed it. Harry is at the core of the narrative. It's his project from the start, so you get to hear his perspective on why he initiated it, which is quite touching, especially the part about being flown back from Afghanistan. There's a single reference to when they appeared in New York, and Meghan is wearing a prominent red dress, and you catch a slight aside remark saying, 'We haven't done this much recently,' as they make a public appearance. However, Meghan's presence is notably absent. It's predominantly Harry leading this, and the stories they follow are genuinely heartwarming, which is the essence of the series." Sky News royal correspondent Laura Bundock explained that the genesis of the Invictus Games was rooted in Prince Harry's personal experiences. His own journey in the military and his subsequent tour in Afghanistan, where he faced the trauma of losing his mother at the age of 12, were the driving forces behind the creation of the event. Contrary to assumptions of another typical Harry on Netflix series, Bundock emphasized that this project is distinct and significant. Prince Harry's multifaceted personality has been widely discussed, but this series showcases him in a more familiar and comfortable territory. The Invictus Games hold deep personal significance for him, as it reflects a cause he deeply cares about and aims to champion. After a year marked by criticism surrounding Prince Harry's actions and statements, the Invictus Games stand as a positive stride forward. Even critics from the past acknowledge the project's merit, recognizing it as a successful endeavor that has achieved considerable impact. Bundock noted that even the royal family currently vacationing in Balmoral would likely find this particular venture of Prince Harry's worth watching. During their visit to the Netherlands in April of the previous year, a camera crew documented Prince Harry and Meghan's participation in the Games in The Hague. In an interview with NBC's Today Show during that visit, Prince Harry hinted at wanting to ensure his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II, had the right support and protection, though he didn't specify whether he referred to royal aides or family members. Amid rumors following the cancellation of the Sussexes' Spotify deal in June, speculation arose about the fate of their Netflix partnership. However, Netflix publicly expressed their continued support, emphasizing the ongoing partnership with Artcool Productions. A representative for Prince Harry and Meghan confirmed that the Duchess would join the Duke at the upcoming Invictus Games. Although Meghan might not attend the opening ceremony, she is expected to join Harry in Europe shortly after the event's commencement. This year's Invictus Games will feature participants from 21 nations, including newcomers Colombia, Israel, and Nigeria. Before the Games kick off, Prince Harry will return to the UK to attend a charity awards ceremony held in London on September 7. The event, organized by the Well Child charity, commemorates seriously ill youngsters and their families. The occasion coincides with the first anniversary of Queen Elizabeth II's passing. The late monarch, who reigned for 70 years, peacefully passed away at Balmoral in Scotland on September 8 the previous year. On August 10, in a video message counting down to the Invictus Games, Prince Harry expressed his anticipation for the event, noting that it's been a while since the community came together. He emphasized the healing journey that everyone is on and hoped that the experience would lead to positive personal transformations. Singer Rita Ora was announced as a headlining act for the Invictus Games closing ceremony on September 16. In his video message, Prince Harry expressed his excitement about the upcoming event, assuring participants that the experience would be transformative. He thanked them for their service and commitment and predicted that the forthcoming games would be the best yet. Dear friend, if you like everything new about the royal family and don't want to miss all the novelties, subscribe to our channel and like it. By doing so, you take part in our development. We work for you.